Welcome to Verdict Vantage, covering breaking news stories. Thank you for supporting our research. We would like to extend a trigger warning before we continue. Please be advised.
This video contains discussions about true crime, which may include topics such as violence, assault, and other distressing incidents. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you are interested in our future coverage of this story, be sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell before you go. Verdict Vantage thanks you for supporting our continued news coverage and research.
Why did we get internet from this cell phone company?
Right now, there is an urgent search for this missing teenager who has autism. He's been missing for more than 24 hours.
Tony Sloan's live in Hendersonville right now with the very latest for us. And Tony, this search has pulled in a lot of agencies to assist.
Yeah, that's right. And the possibility is people could actually join in on that search as well as far as civilians are concerned. But according to this, a number of agencies are jumping in to help Sumner County, including Metro Search and Rescue Team, the TBI, and more. We're here at the command post. We've been here for a while now, and things have been pretty much at a standstill. We can't expect things to pick up over the course of the morning. We saw one deputy leave this area just a little while ago. Of course, we'll keep you updated if we see any changes happen at this command post. But yesterday afternoon, they had about 40 people on the ground searching for this teenage boy. Take a look at these photos of 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. His family says they believe he walked away from his home sometime early yesterday morning. His parents saw him before bedtime Sunday night, and when they woke up Monday morning, he was gone. They called police for help around 6:30 in the morning, and Sumner County tells us they immediately began searching and they issued that endangered child alert. And this morning they continue to extend the perimeter, and they're asking anyone who lives near Beach High School off Long Hollow Pike and wants to help to check their property, including crawl spaces, sheds, small areas, and any other locations where a child who enjoys hiding might be. Law enforcement has interviewed Sebastian's mother, and she's holding on to hope for some good news.
Mom was at the house. We've interviewed her. She's obviously distraught, as any parent would be. I couldn't imagine what she's going through currently.
Yeah, the fact that Sebastian has autism is causing extra concern in this case. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Kids say children with autism, they wander or go missing at a high rate than other children. Now, if you have any information regarding the whereabouts of Sebastian, you're encouraged to contact the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. But of course, we'll keep you updated if we hear anything on the search.
And that breaking news this afternoon, the search for a missing 15-year-old boy in Sumner County is now an Amber Alert. Hi, everyone. A lot to get to here at 4 o'clock. I'm Hunter Hoagland. Sebastian Rogers left his house sometime Sunday night or Monday morning and has not been seen or heard from since. He has autism, which makes finding him even more important. Hannah McDonald has been on the ground covering this story for us today in Hendersonville. Hannah, do we know why this has now been upgraded to an Amber Alert?
I just got clarification on that, Hunter. In this case, the reason it is an Amber Alert now is because so much time has passed. There's bad weather coming in, and this young man has not had his medication in about 36 hours or more, and he needs it. There are more than 200 searchers currently looking for Sebastian Rogers. And I'll be honest, it's a bit tense. It feels like everyone here has their head on a swivel. Behind me, the Shackle Island Fire Hall is the home base for the search crews. There's a lot of unique ground to cover in this area. This neighborhood quickly goes from suburban to rural. So Sumner County Emergency Management Director Ken Widener told me that in order to keep everyone on the same page, they only want professionals searching right now. However, it is so hard to stop people in this community from jumping into action when a child's life is potentially in danger.
Well, you can look right there and see, little kid, he likes to get in buildings, they said. So he could be in that barn somewhere, I've seen people looking through all these here. But if he's scared, he's going to wait and come out when nobody's around, probably. That's the reason I'm trying to ride the road to see if maybe there's a chance he'd come out and I'll see him,
So here's what we know about the missing 15-year-old. At this point, we know he wandered away from Stafford Court. He is 5 foot 5 inches and 120 pounds. He was last seen wearing his glasses, a black sweatshirt, and black sweatpants. He has autism, which could mean he's drawn to water and closed spaces or places of special interest to him. How you can help law enforcement is by looking in any of your garages, sheds, barns, unused buildings, and checking for him. There's a case, there is the possibility that he is hiding in one of those buildings. In Hendersonville, Hannah McDonald, News Channel 5.
Let's put this old phone back in service with the new Generate Background feature in Photoshop. First, we'll remove the background, then click Generate Background.
The search continues for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers in Sumner County. The autistic teen went missing 3 days ago near Beach High School in Hendersonville. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Carrie Sharp.
I'm Rory Johnston. Authorities upgraded the case from an endangered child alert to an Amber Alert just yesterday. They did so for a couple of reasons, including the harsh drop in temperatures and the fact that Sebastian needs his medicine.
Aaron Cantrell joins us now from Northfield Church in Gallatin, where a vigil is getting underway. Aaron, it's like this young man just vanished.
Yeah, Carrie and Rory, that's what it feels like, because we are on day 3 and crews, they have been out all day searching the area, but community members, they felt the need to do something. So they're hosting this prayer vigil, coming together, hoping and praying that he does come home safely. Now, a lot of people want to get out in the community to help search, but first responders say just leave that to them. But this is the best way they can help, by praying and also just hoping he does return home. Now, the 15-year-old, they are asking you all to be on the lookout for him, and they say if you do happen to see him, just remain calm.
Our big concerns is the weather, the rain from this morning, the drop in temperature, the wind, and then tonight we're going to be cold.
Day 3 of the search for Sebastian Rogers continues. The autistic teen was last seen near Stafford Court in Hendersonville, wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and glasses. Hundreds of trained professionals from departments across Middle Tennessee have been conducting searches with the assistance of horses, dogs, and specialized technology like drones. They've expanded their search efforts and have been paying very close attention to bodies of water.
Many people on the spectrum love water, whether they swim or not. Just the calming nature of water tends to be a place that attracts them. Ponds, lakes, swimming pools. Obviously, we're in Hendersonville, so we've got a lot of water around us.
Sebastian also takes medication, so Jessica Moore, the executive director of Autism Tennessee, says it's important to find him quickly.
Someone who is used to routine, who has a daily schedule, who has just different aspects of their lives that's just repetitive every day. It can be very stressful to not have those pieces in place.
Authorities have asked neighbors to check their property, including crawl spaces, sheds, small areas he could be hiding at. Moore thinks Sebastian could be a sensory seeker.
Someone who enjoys a lot of pressure, deep pressure. I think he likes to hide, and that those more confined spaces are calming.
And if you see him, remain calm.
Approaching slowly, with calm words, with a calm demeanor. I'm sure that he's feeling a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety. At least I would be in that situation.
She's hopeful they will find Sebastian. Now, this is personal for Moore because she's also a mother and has kids herself, but she also lives here in this Hendersonville community, so she is hoping for the best. Now, this prayer vigil is getting underway now. Now, authorities say the best way that you can help during this is attend events like this, but also keep sharing the poster of Sebastian, and hopefully he is coming home safely. I'll send it back to you all.
Oh, we hope so. Aaron, thank you.
15-year-old you see here first reported missing Monday, and law enforcement talking today about what they're now doing and how you can help.
Let's get right out to News Channel 5's Kelsey Gibbs. She's been out there all day. Kelsey, what is the latest?
Hey, Carrie and Rory, as you can see behind me, still a very busy command post here, but law enforcement, they have drones. They have all other types of aircrafts like helicopters, K9s, and horses, all searching for Sebastian. But what they really need is the help of the public to search around on their property. This is the plea from Sumner County officials. There have been no sightings of Sebastian on home surveillance cameras so far, and the team's scent, his smell, hasn't been picked up by any K9. Law enforcement say they just want to find the teen and bring him home. First responders have covered more than 2,000 miles in the span of 4 days looking for Sebastian Rogers. The autistic teen was last seen early Monday in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville. An Amber Alert was issued for Sebastian later that day to help with the search. Chief Deputy Eric Craddock says they are operating under the assumption that Sebastian walked away from his home. Law enforcement again calling on the public for help. They said check your property as well as things like crawl spaces and creeks and trailers and stuff like that. They say that also to do it in pairs, because law enforcement says if they spot 2 people from the air, they won't assume it's Sebastian walking in a field alone. And of course, if you see something, say something.
We have had several clips that have come in. Several of them we've been able to dispel that's not Sebastian on that clip. We are still working every lead that comes in. So as the video comes in, our detectives, we're working really well alongside the TBI and all of our other law enforcement partners in the region to make sure that we're getting on them just as quickly as possible.
Now, we have seen law enforcement officials from Gallatin, White House, all over Sumner County, as well as the TWRA helping in this search. We've also been told by law enforcement that Sebastian Rogers' family is cooperating with officials. Reporting live in Sumner County, Kelsey Gibbs, News Channel 5.
Kelsey, we appreciate the update. You know, so many people want to help. We know that. But right now, officials still want to avoid having hundreds and hundreds of people in the woods looking for Sebastian, especially in case someone were to get hurt. Then resources would have to be diverted to help that person. So right now, they tell us they have started the conversation with local volunteer groups should they need them. We told you earlier the search for Sebastian Rogers out of Sumner County continues at this hour.
Day 4 and still no trace of the teen. Here's Kelsey Gibbs with what we've learned so far.
A community on edge, hoping and praying that Sebastian Rogers returns home safely. They say the teen has not been spotted on any surveillance cameras and there have been no clues of his whereabouts, and now law enforcement needs your help. People just want Sebastian home, especially those in the autistic community.
Autistic kids go missing, and it's like as an autistic person, it's a punch to the gut, right?
It was another busy day searching for the teen. Law enforcement has drones, canines, helicopters, and even horses. But officials say right now, what they need is the public searching their property. There's been no sightings on home surveillance video of Sebastian so far. And the teen's scent, his smell, hasn't been picked up by any canines. Law enforcement say they just want to find the teen and bring him home. First responders have covered more than 2,000 miles in the span of 4 days looking for Sebastian Rogers. The autistic teen was last seen early Monday in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville. An Amber Alert was issued for Sebastian later that day to help with the search. Sumner County Chief Deputy Eric Craddock says they are operating under the assumption that Sebastian walked away from home. Law enforcement again calling on the public for help. They need your help, so check your property and do it in pairs. If you see something, say something. Law enforcement says no amount of information is too big or too small.
Like I said, we're operating under the assumption that Sebastian walked off. We have no evidence to disprove that.
Law enforcement telling us that the family is cooperating with authorities, and they again are under the assumption that Sebastian walked away from home. Reporting in Sumner County, Kelsey Gibbs, News Channel 5.
And something they said specifically, search twice a day because he could be on the move. Check those crawl spaces, garages, sheds.
Check your property twice a day. That's the message tonight from the Sheriff's Office in Sumner County. Good evening, I'm Emily Luxon. Now that the 4th day of searching for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers has come to a close, officials are asking homeowners in Hendersonville to check for even the smallest signs of the boy who has autism and officials think wandered off. News Channel 5's Jason Lamb checked in with neighbors who have already been looking around their property.
We were all very concerned from the get-go.
Jesse Gibson says since Monday, he's been doing what the Sheriff's Office in Sumner County has pleaded with homeowners to do.
If people aren't really searching their property, he may be right here and we don't even know it.
What you're seeing
at a press conference Thursday, officials showed an image of the area's helicopters and other aircraft have covered in the search for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. But then they ramped up their urgency with a stronger direct appeal to neighbors in the area.
Really wanted to come to the community and ask for your help. We need you to search your properties every day, morning and night. If there's a shed or a crawl space or up under your mobile home or a tarp that's in your yard, check it every morning and check it every night.
That includes areas around water like creeks or ponds, looking for any small sign that the teen who has autism may have been there, like a missing shirt or footprints.
It does change things in the sense that it makes me feel like they're getting more desperate. Because at this point in time, everyone thought he'd be found by now.
The Sheriff's Office says they're still working on the assumption that Sebastian walked off sometime before early Monday morning.
There are boats that he could easily crawl into the back of, that there are sheds that he could easily walk into. There's so many areas on our properties that a 15-year-old boy who may not be in the right state of mind could really hide away in.
Jesse says he hopes everyone in the community will take the advice of the Sheriff's Office so Sebastian can return home safe.
I just want to see more people be aware and be on the lookout.
Jason Lamb, News Channel 5.
Teams in Hendersonville are now going into the 5th day of looking for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office and EMA are asking for people to check their homes for any signs of the teen who has autism. Brianna Hamblin's joining us live now from the command post once again this morning. So, Brianna, what's their message to people who live nearby?
Ben, they want people to check their properties twice a day, every day, and make sure to check any small spaces he could be hiding, crawl spaces, check your shed, garages, and boats, under tarps. We want to keep showing you pictures of Sebastian so you know what he looks like if you do see him. Deputies need people to check around their ponds or creeks for any footprints as well, because he may have walked along them. They suggest people do this in pairs. They're asking people in other nearby counties like Davidson and Robertson to do the same. Officials say they are still working under the assumption he walked away from his home on Stafford Court sometime between late Sunday night and early Monday morning. The EMA director showed us a map of the areas that have been covered by search teams, helicopters, drones, dogs, and all the resources they have to try to find him. In the first 2 days of the search, over 2,000 miles of personnel on foot was logged. Officials ask people to check their cameras on their properties, and they say they're working every lead that comes in, including looking at security video.
We have had several clips that have come in. Several of them we've been able to dispel that's not Sebastian on that clip. We are still working every lead that comes in.
Officials say that Sebastian's family has been nothing but cooperative during this investigation. Back to you.
Wrenching. You don't want anything to happen to anybody, let alone a child.
The heartache is deep in Sumner County as a classroom chair has sat empty all week long, one that belongs to Sebastian Rogers, a missing 15-year-old with autism. He hasn't been seen in 5 days.
A dive team has now been called in to help with this investigation. News Channel 5's Aaron Cantrell has been following this search all week. Aaron, tell us what's going on out there today.
Well, Emily and Carrie, there's still an active scene out here, but we do know that the Franklin Police Department, they got a call from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office yesterday asking if they could send out a dive team. And there was a small police presence outside of the Rogers family home today. There were members of that dive team. Also, there was a raft and an ATV, and officers were just looking at the area, just hoping to look for anything that could lead to Sebastian. But community members, they are just hoping and praying that he comes home safely. It's a busy day inside Worsham's General Store.
Kids are buzzing in and out of here. It's going to be 4:37.
Some people call it the foundation of the Shackle Island community.
Teachers are grabbing breakfast and lunch.
But this community hasn't felt stable since Monday, after 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers went missing from his home on Stratford Court.
My entire school is in a constant state of prayer for him.
Patricia Shemansky is Sebastian's former 8th grade teacher at T.W. Hunter Middle School.
He has a great sense of humor. He loves people. He loves animals.
She says Sebastian may have autism, but he's extremely high functioning.
He has a great sense of humor, loves to laugh. He's a jokester. He's extremely smart.
Feeling helpless as they wait around for answers, her school decided to honor Sebastian by wearing his favorite color.
If you have to pick a pencil, you pick the green one, you know. You pick a folder, you pick a green one. So he always picked green, so we knew it was his favorite.
This week, multiple agencies have searched thousands of miles for Sebastian using scent-trained dogs, horses, and technology, but still no luck.
Typically, autism children are drawn to water. So if there's a pond or a lake on anyone's property, to look those places.
Andrea Haynes also knows Sebastian likes small spaces.
Sebastian came to my classroom because it's a small classroom. He always was smiling and always had a great imagination when it came to drawing.
They're hopeful he will return home safely.
All right, thank you.
Standing firmly together as a community.
I also have such hope in the team that I saw going out there. They are taking this extremely serious, and from what I saw them doing, they're leaving no stone unturned.
We love him, that we're all praying for him and wishing for his safe return.
So in addition to those teachers, we saw several community members out here today wearing this exact color here, green. They're just sending their hopes and prayers that Sebastian returns home safely. Now, authorities, they're asking folks in the area to still check their home surveillance video if you see Sebastian or see anything suspicious. And if you do happen to come across him, of course, call police immediately. I'll send it back to you all.
Yeah. We're hoping for a good update soon, Aaron. Thank you.
Work goes smoothly when you know the right steps. With Asana, you can coordinate tasks across teams and stay on track, so your team can spend more time celebrating wins. Try it for free at asana.com.
Two major searches continue in Sumner County. One for two escaped inmates who broke out of jail last night. The other for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, who hasn't been seen in 5 days. Good evening. I'm Emily Luxon. Search crews have been out all week looking for Sebastian, a teen living with autism. Our Nikki Hauser has the latest as the whole community is praying for his safe return.
Sebastian was reported missing on Monday. Now on Friday, it's been a full week of searching on foot, in the air, and alongside bodies of water here in the county. And although we've been working to get an update, Sumner County officials say right now, there's not one.
He always was smiling.
That infectious smile.
Oh, Sebastian, a ray of sunshine.
You've seen his face on billboards, all over social media, and alongside this week's news headlines.
He's just a fun-loving kid.
15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, former teacher, and others know that smile well. From the halls and classrooms at T.W. Hunter Middle School in Hendersonville.
He has a great sense of humor. He loves people. He loves animals.
So talented.
He's extremely smart. He's just somebody that you would think is very typical, and you might just see him like walking around and you would have absolutely no idea that he had any type of deficits at all.
Sumner County officials say he's now been missing for 5 days.
Immediately, your heart just sinks.
Sebastian's 8th grade teacher says while he's very high functioning, she's worried about him.
I'm just in a constant state of prayer.
As is the rest of the community, as they watch search efforts continue to play out. Sumner County officials have spanned thousands of miles and called in a dive team to find him.
So it's heart-wrenching, and we just keep praying every day for a miracle.
Nikki Hauser, News Channel 5.
Officials say as of now, they are continuing to search for Sebastian. If you want to help, you can look for him on your property in small spaces or near any creeks, ponds, or other bodies of water. If you think you might see him, call detectives, and that number's on our website, newschannel5.com.
Today will be the 6th day of the search for Sebastian Rogers, the 15-year-old with autism who disappeared from his home in Hendersonville. Brianna Hamlin joins us now from the 5 Alert Desk with more. So, Brianna, what is new with the search and what's planned for today?
Well, Jennifer, there's still been no sightings of Sebastian or clues to lead search teams to him since he has been believed to have left his home sometime between late Sunday night and early Monday morning. And we're told that the community is worried about him. People keep asking how they can help, and here are some pictures so you can recognize him if you do see him. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office is asking people to check their properties with a partner twice a day and any crawl spaces he could be hiding in, because he does like small spaces. People with autism tend to be attracted to bodies of water, so search teams have been checking around streams, creeks, and ponds for footprints. Friday morning, a dive team from the Franklin Police Department were called in to help with the search as well. Police were also seen searching the area around the Rogers family home. Search crews have been using helicopters, drones, dogs, horses, ATVs, and other technology to try to find him over the last 5 days. Students, teachers, and members of the community wore green yesterday, which is Sebastian's favorite color. Sebastian's former teacher, Patricia Szymanski, describes him as high functioning, and you may not know he has autism if you were to meet him. She says the school is in a constant state of prayer for him.
He has a great sense of humor, loves to laugh. He's a jokester. He's extremely smart.
So again, the sheriff's office says keep checking your properties, and if you see anything, contact the police immediately. Jennifer.
Meanwhile, the search in Sumner County for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers enters another critical day. Thousands of miles have been covered, but there's still no sign of the teenager. News Channel 5's Aaron Cantrell has been following this developing story all week and brings us the latest.
Agencies and search crews across the volunteer state are right here in Hendersonville trying to locate Sebastian Rogers. And they're still asking the community to check their surveillance video to see if they see anything suspicious.
It's just like unbelievable. You would never think that he'd be missing, and especially for as long as he's been missing.
6 days and still no sign of Sebastian Rogers. Search crews have walked thousands of miles this week looking for him.
We're just gonna walk straight out till we get.
They've used specialized technology and sent trained dogs to help navigate the rural terrain.
It's just been a lot of search and rescue all over the property.
The Sumner County Sheriff's Office wants people to review footage from their security and trail cameras, focusing on the time frame from Sunday afternoon through Monday morning, asking people to look for any movements, vehicles, or people.
Like, they came and knocked on our door and was like, hey, we're gonna be searching this property. You have ponds.
Brooke Clark lives near Long Hollow Pike, the area where Sebastian was last seen. The Sheriff's Office has told her and others in the area to look in their sheds, garages, under tarps and dense brush, any place a child might seek shelter or could become trapped.
A lot of places you could hide. I mean, we've searched the barns. I went around saying his name.
Clark says everyone in the community is worried.
We have a strong community. I just really hope that they find him safe.
Everyone hopes answers come soon.
Just praying, praying, praying.
In Hendersonville, Aaron Cantrell, News Channel 5.
Aaron, thank you. And if you have any video to share with the Sheriff's Office, you can upload it directly to them. We have information on how to do that at newschannel5.com. If you see Sebastian or you have any information about his disappearance, call police.
Another critical day of looking for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers in Hendersonville has come and gone, and after yesterday's search, there was still no sign of the autistic teenager. Brianna Hamlin joins us now from the command post out on Long Hollow Pike. So, Brianna, today is now the 7th day of the search for Sebastian. What are you hearing from authorities there?
Well, I'm actually here with EMA Director, Sumner County EMA Director Ken Widener, to get a direct update on this search that's happening. And so, what is the plan for today? This has now been a week since we've last seen Sebastian Rogers.
Yeah, we're starting day 7, and we've actually got search crews coming in. We've got a bus unloading right now. Yesterday we ran about 330 searchers on the ground, and we'll start that process again today and work through the day. We have a rough number of searchers today, but we'll have that final number at the end of the day, and we're just going to continue to work the search areas and expand that as we go.
Is it still, I know the focus has been, around water. Has anywhere of where you guys have been looking changed at all?
No, and the thing with water is several people that I've spoken to and from some case study, autistic people like water. They like streams. We actually had a young kid come in here Tuesday that wanted to tell us where Sebastian might be in regards to where he would like to go. So we talked to him, and he said, that he liked streams. He liked being behind buildings or in buildings and small places and things like that. We've had teams come in from East Tennessee, specialized search teams and cave rescue, and they're going in every cave that is marked or that we're aware of, and we searched under the ground in culverts. The city of Gallatin brought their camera truck out, and they hit all the culverts in the area, and we've cleared those. So we're just going to continue to expand and just keep pounding it out.
And we know a lot of agencies are here from across the state working together on this. I mean, is that usual for a search like this, searching for a child? Yeah,
that's pretty common. And we make requests, and we have people contact us and say, hey, we're available if you want us to come. And we vet that, and we pull the trigger on it. And, the biggest thing, and there's a lot of concern about utilizing volunteer searchers, and we can't manage 1,000 volunteers. We can manage the trained search teams that we can track and we have communications with. So rest assured, we're doing everything we can do. We talk to mom and dad and stepdad every day, and we'll talk to them this morning and give them an update on what we're doing, and we're just going to keep going at it.
Thank you so much for the work that you all are doing. And so that's why, as well, that the Sumner County Sheriff's Office has reiterated that people should be keeping their own personalized searches around their property. The Sheriff's Office also is asking people to check their home surveillance videos, specifically between last Sunday afternoon through Monday morning. And so keep searching through your video. Again, if you have video that is of interest, you can send that directly to Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and we have where you can upload it on our website, newschannel5.com.
It's day 7 of the search for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. This weekend, efforts to find him have ramped up. Good evening, I'm Emily Luxon. For the last week, we have followed the latest developments on the search for the missing teen who has autism. Our Nikki Hauser has been at the command center in Sumner County all day. Nikki, there are hundreds more people out there searching for Sebastian this weekend.
Exactly. Emily, I'm told that close to 300 trained search and rescue volunteers have been out here on the ground all day trying to find Sebastian. That's hundreds more than the 80 or so that we saw during the week. Now, this weekend, the National Guard was called in. TBI has been involved all week, and agencies from Wilson, Knox, and Williamson counties are all here to help Sumner County. They all want you to know they are all over this area, checking and double checking every inch of space. All week, they've used specialized technology, canines, and sheer manpower to cover the ground here. TBI has been involved, and the county has been talking to the FBI as well on advice for how to move forward here. And the community has been asked to both check their properties and check their video camera footage from Sunday to Monday. Everybody has the same goal. Sumner County Fire saying at this time, try not to get in the way of the professionals.
The agencies have been training for things like this for years. They have the Emergency Management Association of all of the different counties in any state. This is what they do. They are ready for these kind of events. They just ask for patience of everybody to let them do what they've been trained to do.
Now, they are wrapping up search operations for today. I'm told they'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning, but that they are going to be scaling back some of the search operations going into this week. We'll let you know updates as we hear more, but as of now, nobody has seen Sebastian. Live in Hendersonville, I'm Nikki Hauser, News Channel 5.
A significant shift in the case of Sebastian Rogers, the missing autistic 15-year-old. It's a case we have followed closely since he disappeared.
We care what happens next, just like you. And now, 1 week after Sebastian vanished from his Sumner County home, authorities are scaling back the search effort, and they are now calling it an investigation.
Nick Barra shares the latest details, and we also hear for the first time publicly today from the missing teen's mother and stepfather.
The original thinking was that Sebastian Rogers left home on his own, but the fact that he disappeared without a trace now has authorities looking into the very real possibility of foul play. Consider 7 days of intense searching from the ground and air. Hundreds of officers and citizens, bloodhounds, and nothing. No security video of the teen and no trace of Sebastian.
We're used to producing, and this is one of those cases that we haven't been able to produce yet.
No one is giving up. Sebastian could still be alive somewhere, alone, hurt, lost, or trapped. The search effort will continue, but
we're scaling it back a little bit.
What exactly does that mean? Well, sources close to the case confirm authorities are now considering foul play and that this missing teen case could become a criminal investigation. Sebastian's mother and stepfather broke their silence, talking about how he disappeared from their home overnight a week ago Sunday. The two spoke on a YouTube podcast called Missing Tennessee with Duchess.
And when I went to wake him up for school, he wasn't here.
Between the hours of, 12 and 6, he has basically vanished. Walked out of the house, the door was locked and gone.
He didn't take a phone. None of his shoes are missing.
Authorities have named no suspects and say that to date, the parents have fully cooperated with the investigation.
Detectives now will re-interview and vet everyone that had contact with Sebastian, looking for any inconsistencies. And they are asking the public to provide any Ring camera videos, not just from Sunday night when they believe he disappeared, but of anything suspicious of much earlier in the day. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
We're going to stay on this one.
Well, 10 days have now passed. Still no sign of Sebastian Rogers. The teen's mother and stepfather say he just walked out of their Sumner County home and vanished.
Yesterday, we heard from them for the first time pleading for their boy to come home. Our Nick Barris also interviewed his biological father.
Somebody has you, son. Run. Run to the next person you meet. Ask to use their phone and call 911. Tell them who you are. Let them find you.
Authorities announced yesterday their search efforts have been scaled back. The parents have not been named as suspects, and we are told they are cooperating with this investigation. Originally, police told neighbors in the Shackle Island area to check any doorbell or home security footage from late last Sunday night to early Monday morning when Sebastian reportedly disappeared. Now they are asking neighbors to check footage from earlier on Sunday. Here's another look at the photos we have of Sebastian. If you see him, if you know anything about this, you are asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Law enforcement is searching high and low, even in a Kentucky landfill, for clues that can help bring Sebastian Rogers home.
We have been following this story since day one. The 15-year-old was last seen nearly 2 weeks ago in the area of a Stafford Court in Hendersonville. News Channel 5's Kelsey Gibbs has the latest on this investigation.
We are going on now 2 weeks and still no sighting of 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. His mother reported him missing around 8 a.m. Monday, February 26. And since then, there's been a massive search effort on the ground and in the air. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office is asking everyone in the area near Beach High School to meticulously review footage from security and trail cameras. They want you to really focus on the time frame from the afternoon of Sunday, February 25th through that Monday morning. Even the smallest detail could be the key to locating Sebastian. Yesterday, we had Sky 5 flying over a landfill in Kentucky as investigators with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office searched for any clues. This is where trash from the missing teen's neighborhood went. Officials say the search was a precautionary measure to eliminate possible options and questions. But today, officials say no leads or evidence pertaining to Sebastian's whereabouts were found during the search. This is despite the extensive search conducted by trained personnel, including the use of canines. In an update of the investigation, Sumner County Sheriff Sonny Weatherford is quoted saying, "While we had hoped for a different outcome, our commitment to finding Sebastian remains unwavering. We will continue to explore all available avenues and resources to bring closure to this case and provide answers to Sebastian's family and loved ones." Now, if you spot something on your cameras that can help, this is what you need to do. You can send footage to the Sumner County Camera Registry and then followed by an email or phone call to the Sheriff's Office, and someone there will retrieve the information. We have all the information on how to do that on newschannel5.com. Kelsey Gibbs, News Channel 5.
Kelsey, thank you. The Sumner County Mayor is telling us there is a $3,000 reward from an anonymous donor for information that can help locate Sebastian. We, of course, will let you know if there are any breaks in this case.
Now been 2 weeks since Sebastian Rogers was reported missing. Crews have searched high and low and followed every lead, but still no signs of the Hendersonville teen. So last night, the community came together for a prayer vigil. Dozens of people showed up wearing green, Sebastian's favorite color.
Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers.
Now been
Law enforcement is searching.
Well, 10 days. A significant shift in the case of Sebastian Rogers, the missing autistic 15-year-old. It's a case we have followed closely since he did. A significant.
It's day 7 of the search for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. This weekend, efforts to find him have ramped up. Good evening. I'm Emily Luxon. For the last week, we have followed the latest developments on the search for the missing teen who has autism. Our Nikki Hauser has been at the command center in Sumner County all day. Nikki, there are hundreds more people out there searching for Sebastian this weekend.
Exactly. Emily, I'm told that close to 300 trained search and rescue volunteers have been out here on the ground all day trying to find Sebastian. That's hundreds more than the 80 or so that we saw during the week. Now, this weekend, the National Guard was called in. TBI has been involved all week, and agencies from Wilson, Knox, and Williamson counties are all here to help Sumner County. They all want you to know they are all over this area, checking and double checking every inch of space. All week, they've used specialized technology, canines, and sheer manpower to cover the ground here. TBI has been involved, and the county has been talking to the FBI as well on advice for how to move forward here. And the community has been asked to both check their properties and check their video camera footage from Sunday to Monday. Everybody has the same goal. Sumner County Fire saying at this time, try not to get in the way of the professionals.
The agencies have been training for things like this for years. They have the Emergency Management Association of all of the different counties in any state. This is what they do. They are ready for these kind of events. They just ask for patience of everybody to let them do what they've been trained to do.
Now, they are wrapping up search operations for today. I'm told they'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning, but that they are going to be scaling back some of the search operations going into this week. We'll let you know updates as we hear more, but as of now, nobody has seen Sebastian. Live in Hendersonville, I'm Nikki Hauser, News Channel 5.
A significant shift in the case of Sebastian Rogers, the missing autistic 15-year-old. It's a case we have followed closely since he disappeared.
We care what happens next, just like you. And now, 1 week after Sebastian vanished from his Sumner County home, authorities are scaling back the search effort, and they are now calling it an investigation.
Nick Barris shares the latest details, and we also hear for the first time publicly today from the missing teen's mother and stepfather.
The original thinking was that Sebastian Rogers left home on his own, but the fact that he disappeared without a trace now has authorities looking into the very real possibility of foul play. Consider 7 days of intense searching from the ground and air. Hundreds of officers and citizens, bloodhounds, and nothing. No security video of the teen and no trace of Sebastian.
We're used to producing, and this is one of those cases that we haven't been able to produce yet.
No one is giving up. Sebastian could still be alive somewhere, alone, hurt, lost, or trapped. The search effort will continue, but
we're scaling it back a little bit.
What exactly does that mean? Well, sources close to the case confirm authorities are now considering foul play and that this missing teen case could become a criminal investigation. Sebastian's mother and stepfather broke their silence, talking about how he disappeared from their home overnight a week ago Sunday. The two spoke on a YouTube podcast called Missing Tennessee with Duchess.
And when I went to wake him up for school, he wasn't here.
Between the hours of, 12 and 6, he has basically vanished. Walked out of the house, the door was locked, and gone.
He didn't take a phone. None of his shoes are missing.
Authorities have named no suspects and say that to date, the parents have fully cooperated with the investigation. Detectives now will re-interview and vet everyone that had contact with Sebastian, looking for any inconsistencies. And they are asking the public to provide any ring camera videos, not just from Sunday night when they believe he disappeared, but of anything suspicious. Everyone that had contact with Sebastian, looking for. The parents have fully cooperated with the investigation. Detectives now will re-interview and vet everyone that had contact with Sebastian, looking for any inconsistencies. And they are asking the public to provide any ring camera videos, not just from Sunday night when they believe he disappeared, but of anything suspicious of much earlier in the day. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
We're going to stay on this one.
The parents said,
Gone.
He didn't take a phone. None of his shoes are missing.
Authorities have named no suspects and say that to date, the parents have fully cooperated with the investigation.
detectives now will re-interview and vet everyone that had contact with Sebastian, looking for any inconsistencies. And they are asking the public to provide any ring camera videos, not just from Sunday night when they believe he disappeared, but of anything suspicious of much earlier in the day. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
We're going to stay on this one.
See that I have two really big monitors on here, as well as my tower, which by itself weighs like 50 pounds. Uplift Desk can handle up.
Well, 10 days have now passed. Still no sign of Sebastian Rogers. The teen's mother and stepfather say he just walked out of their Sumner County home and vanished.
Yesterday, we heard from them for the first time pleading for their boy to come home. Our Nick Barris also interviewed his biological father.
Somebody has you, son. Run. You know, run to the next person you meet. Ask to use their phone and call 911. Tell them who you are. Let them find you.
Authorities announced yesterday their search efforts have been scaled back. The parents have not been named as suspects, and we are told they are cooperating with this investigation. Originally, police told neighbors in the Shackle Island area to check any doorbell or home security footage from late last Sunday night to early Monday morning when Sebastian reportedly disappeared. Now they are asking neighbors to check footage from earlier on Sunday. Here's another look at the photos we have of Sebastian. If you see him, if you know anything about this, you are asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Law enforcement is searching high and low, even in a Kentucky landfill, for clues that can help bring Sebastian Rogers home.
We have been following this story since day one. The 15-year-old was last seen nearly 2 weeks ago in the area of a Stafford Court in Hendersonville. News Channel 5's Kelsey Gibbs has the latest on this investigation.
We are going on now 2 weeks and still no sighting of 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. His mother reported him missing around 8 a.m. Monday, February 26. And since then, there's been a massive search effort on the ground and in the air. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office is asking everyone in the area near Beach High School to meticulously review footage from security and trail cameras. They want you to really focus on the time frame from the afternoon of Sunday, February 25th through that Monday morning. Even the smallest detail could be the key to locating Sebastian. Yesterday, we had Sky 5 flying over a landfill in Kentucky as investigators with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office searched for any clues. This is where trash from the missing teen's neighborhood went. Officials say the search was a precautionary measure to eliminate possible options and questions. But today, officials say no leads or evidence pertaining to Sebastian's whereabouts were found during the search. This is despite the extensive search conducted by trained personnel, including the use of canines. In an update of the investigation, Sumner County Sheriff Sonny Weatherford is quoted saying, "While we had hoped for a different outcome, our commitment to finding Sebastian remains unwavering. We will continue to explore all available avenues and resources to bring closure to this case and provide answers to Sebastian's family and loved ones." Now, if you spot something on your cameras that can help, this is what you need to do. You can send footage to the Sumner County Camera Registry and then followed by an email or phone call to the Sheriff's Office, and someone there will retrieve the information. We have all the information on how to do that on newschannel5.com. Kelsey Gibbs, News Channel 5.
Kelsey, thank you. The Sumner County Mayor is telling us there is a $3,000 reward from an anonymous donor for information that can help locate Sebastian. We, of course, will let you know if there are any breaks in this case.
Now been 2 weeks since Sebastian Rogers was reported missing. Crews have searched high and low and followed every lead, but still no signs of the Hendersonville teen. So last night, the community came together for a prayer vigil. Dozens of people showed up wearing green, Sebastian's favorite color.
Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers, attended that candlelight vigil and for the first time spoke at length about his son's disappearance.
Nick is live from our 5 Alert Center this morning. And Nick, this is his first television interview, and it's with you.
That's right. You know, he's issued a few brief statements by phone, but the rest of the time he says he's been spent focusing on the search for his son, but now finally speaking out publicly on TV. 2 weeks after the teen disappeared, the father says he's not giving up hope.
I'm hoping he's still alive. You know, that's my main hope right now.
That is his focus. Seth Rogers wants to believe his son is still alive somewhere. He says he is in contact with law enforcement every single day, and like them, he says he is completely at a loss to explain exactly what happened to his son. It's a mystery. The working story, of course, is that Sebastian, who has autism, walked away from his Hendersonville home in the middle of the night, barefoot and alone. But Rogers says no. He says it makes absolutely no sense that search crews and bloodhounds have found no trace of the boy, and he says Sebastian was not the type of child who would just wander away like this on his own.
In order for him to actually do something that's out of the normal, something would have had to happen that he just felt that he couldn't deal with anymore.
What that is and how, no one really knows, and Seth Rogers can't explain that, but I can tell you he doesn't like to think that this is a possibility, but he does not rule out the chance that there is foul play involved in what happened to his son. He knows that if his son could, he would, and is very able. He knows how to work a phone and communicate. He would reach out to the father for help. I can tell you Seth went on to share a number of other new details, not only about the investigation, but personal details about his son, which may help in finding him. I'll have much more on this later this morning and tonight on News Channel 5 at 5 and 6.
Exactly 2 weeks ago, we were just learning about the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers from Sumner County. Today, the search continues. The case, though, we know is now a criminal investigation. Thanks for being with us at 6, everyone. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Kelsey Gibson for Carrie tonight. For the first time, we are getting a look at family video of the missing 15-year-old. Sebastian's biological father gave it to Nick Barris during an exclusive on-camera interview.
Seth Rogers shares custody of his son, and the deputy with the Davidson County Sheriff's Department spent the past 2 weeks looking for Sebastian.
I'm hoping he's still alive. You know, that's my main hope right now, is that he's not deceased. I mean, I keep praying that he's alive. I keep praying that somebody's going to see him, that somebody's going to call 911.
Seth's 15-year-old son disappeared barefoot and with a flashlight from his mother and stepfather's home in Hendersonville either late on Sunday, March 3rd or early that Monday. Seth knows the key to finding his son may come from a tip. Several photographs have already been made public, and now he's released 2 video clips of Sebastian. In this first one, you see Sebastian up front on the left in yellow shorts, participating in a tug-of-war with fellow students.
And if you watch, he got swung around at the end like a little rag doll, and it's like, well, he gave it his best.
This second video shows Sebastian walking at his middle school graduation.
I was very proud of him. I mean, he successfully completed something.
Seth says his son, who is autistic, is not a wanderer. He finds it highly unlikely Sebastian would leave in the middle of the night barefoot, based on an experience his son had as a child.
He decided that he wanted to step into a mound of what he thought was dirt, and it was fire ants. And since then, it's always been, he doesn't like to get his feet in the dirt. He likes to have his socks and shoes on.
Seth won't rule out the possibility of foul play, that someone is involved in his son's disappearance. And if Sebastian is able, he says he needs to call for help.
He needs to call 911. And if somebody has him, you need to give him back. He's my son, and he doesn't belong to nobody, but damn it, he's mine. And he's mine.
Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Today, authorities have named no suspects and say that all of Sebastian's parents continue to cooperate with the investigation.
We begin with a surprising development in the search for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, who's been missing for 18 days. An exclusive look at new video evidence. Thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Hunter Hoagland. A lot to get to here tonight. Authorities have scrutinized home security video from that Hendersonville neighborhood, trying to learn what happened to that teen with autism.
Now you can take a look for yourself. Our Nick Barris obtained video that appears to show two people near Sebastian's home the night his parents say he disappeared.
The video you're about to see is from early Monday morning, February 26th, around 3:10 a.m. Now, there are no street lights in the Stafford Court neighborhood, so it is at night, pitch black. What you will see here are these 2 points of light believed to be people with flashlights in the area around Sebastian Rogers' Hendersonville home.
It is believed Sebastian left his home barefoot and with a flashlight sometime overnight. Since his disappearance, authorities have reviewed security video from homes in the neighborhood looking for clues.
We have had several clips that have come in.
And this one is getting the most attention, showing signs of activity around Sebastian's home the night he disappeared. You see, 2 light sources, which we've circled to help you follow. For point of reference, the security camera was pointed toward the back of Sebastian's home in a common area. In the video, you see subject 1 with a light source in the lower right-hand corner. Then you see subject 2 briefly appear and move toward the first before that light source is covered or obscured by bushes. Subject 1, a few seconds later, then moves out of frame. Then, subject 2 reappears and follows subject 1 off screen. It's a short time later, and it's very vague, but then you see one of the subjects moving quickly back through the common area, and that is it.
I know, there's not much to see here. You certainly cannot identify anyone, but those close to the investigation tell me the mere fact that there is now evidence that someone is in the area around Sebastian's home is significant.
This video shows suspicious activity in the immediate area the night Sebastian disappeared. Could one of these subjects have been Sebastian? Did he meet and leave with someone? Sebastian's father says his son would not go with a stranger.
It's up in the air for me because I don't think he would get into a vehicle with somebody unless he knew them.
So what exactly are we seeing here? I know investigators are doing what they can to try enhancing the video for any more clues.
For now, this video is now part of the Sebastian Rogers missing person file, and I'm told it could become more significant depending on where the ongoing investigation leads. We'll be following that. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Thanks, Nick. Of course, the search for Sebastian continues, with detectives now looking into any possibility of foul play. If you think you can help, call 1-800-TBI-FIND. It has now been nearly 1 month since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his home in Sumner County. Thanks for joining us on this Monday, everyone. I'm Rory Johnston. Like you, we have followed this story closely and hope Sebastian will soon be found safe. Well, tonight we share this update. The teen's father tells News Channel 5's Jason Lamb even 1 month later, he has not and will not give up hope.
Wearing a ribbon of his son Sebastian's favorite color, Seth Rogers reflects on his son's disappearance nearly 1 month later. As this search has gone from hours to days to now almost a month, how are you holding up?
I didn't even realize it had been a month yet till about 3 days ago when I looked at a calendar. To me, it's just one big day, and it hasn't ended. And it's not going to end until I have my son back.
After law enforcement scaled back its search, the United Cajun Navy, the same group that searched for missing Mizzou student Riley Strain, is now helping with the search effort for the 15-year-old boy with autism, who authorities say wandered away from his Hendersonville home. There's been no trace of the boy ever since. I'm curious what you would say to investigators, to some people watching now, who would say that kids just don't vanish without a trace, implying that there must be some kind of foul play involved. What would you say to them?
Foul play is still negativity. He's out there. We just gotta find him. Stop making excuses. You know, if there's foul play, we'll find out after we get a hold of him. We gotta talk to him. He'll tell us what happened. We just gotta find him first.
And let's just be clear for everyone watching. Do you have any knowledge whatsoever about your son's disappearance?
I don't. I found out over an hour after his mother found out he was gone.
With his son still missing, Rogers urged neighbors once again to check their properties, even places you'd think someone would never go.
He's going to be in the weirdest place in the world because that's my son. You know, people are going to be like, oh, well, we're not going to check this, but you better check it. Because knowing him and his curiosity, he might be there.
He might be there, an unending hope that Sebastian's father is still holding on to. Jason Lamb, News Channel 5.
Wow, I just built the most amazing workflow on Monday.com.
You build your own workflow? Why?
We begin tonight with an exclusive look inside the ongoing search for Sebastian Rogers. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Carrie Sharp. The 15-year-old disappeared 1 month ago from his Hendersonville home. And since then, there have been few updates from authorities.
The case is certainly frustrating, and we know it's impacted the entire community, which is why we're committed to sharing the very latest with you, including what's still being done now to find Sebastian.
Our Nick Barris was granted full access to the Sumner County Emergency Operations Center to find out and takes us inside in this exclusive report.
It was 1 month ago that Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his Hendersonville home. Now, this is one of the first times anyone's been inside the Sumner County Emergency Operations Center with a chance to take a look at all that's been done on this map to help find the teen.
This is the system that we use to track all of our searchers.
Ken Widener is director of Sumner County EMA, and from the beginning, he has spearheaded the official search for Sebastian.
The investigation's still active.
It was nonstop during the first 8 days after the teen disappeared. No trace of him. The professional search effort has since been scaled back, though Widener appreciates volunteers who continue to look following their own leads.
I'm not going to beat up psychics and things, but we've got to vet what we do before we do it.
Widener says they follow up credible leads from law enforcement.
And anytime the sheriff's office indicates or TBI indicates that we've got an area of interest that we need to search, we go. We're ready to go.
And this sophisticated mapping system in the Emergency Ops Center shows they've been busy. There's a report of bones found, and they go.
Fresh bones. We checked that out. It was deer bones.
Divers and spelunkers have been deployed to area ponds and sinkholes.
The white dots are caved, and they've all been searched.
Also, they've looked in every storm drain within a half-mile of Sebastian's home. And some have wondered about the home itself.
The house was searched at least 10 times.
Dogs?
Dogs, yep.
Widener says bloodhounds and cadaver dogs were used, but contrary to some reports,
none of them, to my understanding, were actually on a trail that was following Sebastian.
To date, it's as though the boy simply disappeared.
Have you found evidence of Sebastian yourself when you've been out there?
No.
As busy as this map is, I'm told there's still areas to be checked to look for Sebastian Rogers, and no one is giving up. In Sumner County, Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
It is such a mystery. To date, Sumner County EMA has deployed more than 1,400 trained search personnel to look for Sebastian. They continue to work this case each and every day. Tips can be called into 1-800-TBI-FIND.
There's been an exhaustive search for Sebastian Rogers, but with few updates from authorities in recent weeks, some have wondered, is enough being done?
We're doing everything we can do. Every time a tip comes in, we follow up on it.
Eric Craddock is chief deputy with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office and heads up the investigation. He sat down for an exclusive one-on-one to talk about what they do when there are few new leads.
I think in the absence of information, what we'll continue to do is go back over everything we've already done once, put a fresh set of eyes on it.
To that end, Craddock says searchers recently found a pair of glasses, which they are checking to see if they belong to Sebastian. He says the parents continue to fully cooperate.
Any evidence of foul play?
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
I asked about exclusive home security video obtained from the neighborhood the night Sebastian disappeared. You can see two suspicious light sources, which we've circled here, in an area behind the teen's home. Since we first aired the video last month, authorities have said,
no evidentiary value?
It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No.
Why?
Because the investigation remains ongoing.
And so it could play a role down the road depending on developments?
We don't know what we don't know. So yes, it could play a role.
So many are, of course, closely following this case.
How difficult has it been all the noise on social media?
Oh, the rumor mill on social media has done nothing to advance this case.
Craddock says investigators continue to work the case daily and deal not with feelings, but facts and evidence.
There's no stone left unturned.
Nick Barris, News Channel 5. Authorities say they will not rule out foul play, but they will not say that there is a criminal investigation into the Sebastian Rogers case. Why not? Well, I talked to District Attorney Ray Whitley about what it might take to perhaps make an arrest. Sebastian disappeared from his Hendersonville home more than 6 weeks ago. Since then, professionals and volunteers searching for the 15-year-old have found nothing, no trace. Have you found evidence of Sebastian yourself when you've been out there?
No.
So how does a teen with autism walking from a home barefoot in the middle of the night just with a flashlight disappear? Experts say children rarely simply vanish completely on their own. Could others be involved in Sebastian's case?
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
Though they certainly do have theories, so what would it take to call this now a criminal investigation? General Whitley tells me there has to be something, physical evidence, blood, Sebastian's clothing, a flashlight, or security video, or an eyewitness implicating someone. But at this point, the simple fact is, there's nothing. But that's not to say that can't change, and General Whitley says he stays in contact with authorities, ready to prosecute if it does. Sumner County EMA Director Ken Widener says his crews are on call 24/7, ready to go when investigators contact them with new leads on potential evidence.
And anytime the Sheriff's Office indicates or TBI indicates where you've got an area of interest that we need to search, we're ready to go.
You can see the sophisticated mapping system showing the ground they've covered. Sadly, to date, no confirmed sightings and no indication whatsoever of what happened to Sebastian. Authorities still assume that Sebastian is alive and that he will be found safe. If that's not the case, then his body must be found. Without it or any other physical evidence, we may never know what happened to the teen. Nick Barris, News Channel 5. 5-year-old Joe Clyde Daniels. Authorities found without it or any other physical found safe. What happened to Sebastian? Authorities still assume that Sebastian is alive and that he will be found safe. If that's not the case, then his body must be found. Without it or any other physical evidence, we may never know what happened to the teen. Nick Barris, News Channel 5. 5-year-old Joe Clyde Daniels disappeared from his Dixon County home in 2018. And now some of the very same people who are looking for Joe Clyde are out now looking for Sebastian Rogers.
Anthony Lyle, Steve Hurdle, Josh.
There's no denying the similarities in the two cases. 5-year-old Joe Clyde, autistic, was said to have wandered away from his home at night, barefoot in his pajamas.
I'm trying to get this baby out here, so that's what we're hoping for.
That was 6 years ago this month. A massive search and nothing.
Our main job and our focus is finding where he's at, his remains, if it's remains, or if he's alive, we'll find him alive.
Now consider 15-year-old Sebastian, autistic and said to have left his home in Hendersonville at night, barefoot and with a flashlight 2 months ago. A massive search and nothing.
I think in the absence of information, what we'll continue to do is go back over everything we've already done once, put a fresh set of eyes on it.
Back to Joe Clyde, who is presumed dead. You may recall his case quickly turned criminal. Much like Sebastian, there was no physical evidence to explain his disappearance. The key difference is his father confessed to killing his son. He quickly recanted that confession, but was still found guilty at trial.
Why did I kill my son? My only...
To date, Joe Clyde's body still has never been found. Legal experts say his father never would have been convicted without the confession. So what does this mean for Sebastian?
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
This despite hours of interviews with those close to Sebastian. So no confession, no physical evidence,
and no new leads. If anything is to be learned from Joe Clyde Daniels' case, it's that someone who knows something needs to speak out and come forward with that information. And if they don't, it's very possible that Sebastian's case will never be solved. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Looking for the most comfortable, stylish, easiest pants around? Try new Skechers slip-in pants. Just slip in and...
5-year-old Joe Clyde Daniels disappeared from his Dixon County home in 2000. Make no mistake, tips are the key to leads, which can guide authorities to missing persons. And detectives in the Sebastian Rogers case have vetted hundreds of them, including an interesting one just this past week.
Sebastian, an autistic 15-year-old, disappeared from his Hendersonville home on February 26th. Despite a massive search effort, crews found nothing. Could the teen be a crime victim?
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
Still, authorities do not rule out the possibility Sebastian was taken from the area. News Channel 5 has learned just this past week Sumner County Sheriff's detectives investigated a tip where a witness recently came forward to say he saw 2 vehicles stopped suspiciously on the shoulder the night Sebastian disappeared. This was on a road several miles from Sebastian's home, and the witness said it appeared 2 men were forcing something into the trunk of one of the cars. Officers have since investigated, and they say they have found no connection to Sebastian's case. But they do want people to continue calling in tips in a timely fashion for authorities to vet.
And anytime the sheriff's office indicates or TBI indicates where you've got an area of interest that we need to search, we're ready to go.
It's been 2 months since Sebastian went missing, but authorities will never stop working the case. Consider that detectives in Nashville say they still follow up tips on Tabitha Tudors. The 13-year-old disappeared more than 2 decades ago on her way to school.
At least if you're getting some tips, it's just a matter of getting that right tip that comes in.
With no trace found after so many thorough searches and the absence of any physical evidence, it all now does come down to the public. If Sebastian or Tabitha are ever to be found, detectives say it will likely be the result of a tip. Nick Barris, News Channel 5. At first glance, the person in this photograph sure appears to be Sebastian Rogers. Is it? That's the question right now for authorities. The photo was taken at a visitor center in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina a week ago Saturday. A woman rushing to meet family quickly took the snapshot, thinking the boy resembled Sebastian. And later, after looking at it closely, she contacted authorities. Since then, investigators have been trying to get an identity. The key is locating the person in the photo to confirm it was not Sebastian. But so far, that person has not been found, so they cannot rule out the possibility that it might be him. Sebastian disappeared from his Hendersonville home more than 2 months ago, leaving barefoot in shirt and sweats in the middle of the night with nothing but a flashlight.
This is the system that we use to track all of our searchers.
A massive search effort of the surrounding neighborhood found not a trace of the 15-year-old autistic boy. Detectives have not ruled out the possibility of foul play or that Sebastian was taken or left the area. Eric Craddock, Chief Deputy with the Sumner County Sheriff, heads up the investigation.
We're doing everything we can do. Every time a tip comes in, we follow up on it.
The Sheriff's Office and TBI have received dozens of photos and reports of potential sightings. To date, all vetted and none confirmed. The latest tip now is this photo from North Carolina. Authorities hope the person in the photo or his family comes forward. And until someone does, the photo remains a potential lead. So what does Sebastian's family think of the photograph? I spoke with his grandmother. She tells me it's 50-50 as to whether it's him, and like everyone else, she's holding out hope. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Why O-Cedar? Because I would never bathe in dirty water.
New O-Cedar Rinse Clean keeps clean and dirty water separate.
Make no mistake, Sebastian Rogers missing is not yet a cold case. The TBI, along with the FBI and the Sumner County Sheriff, tell me that it remains an active case. But authorities also say they are no closer to solving the mystery of what happened to Sebastian. In recent weeks, the most recent tip that turned out to be nothing
was this photograph taken at a visitor center in North Carolina. That lookalike teen was identified and confirmed not to be Sebastian. Since then, things have been quiet.
We're doing everything we can do. Every time a tip comes in, we follow up on it.
Eric Craddock is chief deputy with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office and heads up the investigation. 100 days since Sebastian disappeared is a milestone, but Craddock says no one is giving up. Unfortunately, the number of tips or potential sightings reported have gone down in recent weeks. There are no more random search efforts by authorities, but based on the investigation and search efforts to date, they do have a body of work to review.
I think in the absence of information, what we'll continue to do is go back over everything we've already done once, put a fresh set of eyes on it.
Maybe someone with a fresh outlook will notice something in the search area that others have missed. In the meantime, Craddock says they keep in touch with Sebastian's parents, who continue to cooperate, having talked to them just this past week. Everyone is frustrated over the lack of new leads, which unfortunately still result in crazy conspiracy theories.
Oh, the rumor mill on social media has done nothing to advance this case.
When something significant does happen, we will hear about it first from authorities, not from armchair detectives on social media. For now, investigators say all options remain on the table, including the possibility still of foul play. Nick Barris, News Channel 5. Both of these cases remain confounding mysteries. Summer Wells and Sebastian Rogers both vanished without a trace, but their Amber Alerts remain in effect. It was 3 years ago this month that 5-year-old Summer vanished from her home in Hawkins County in East Tennessee. That is a long time for a missing child.
The longer you go, it is less likely that you're going to have a successful recovery. About 1% of children survive longer than 24 hours. And so we're hoping that Summer Wells is going to be that 1%er. She's going to be a 1%er.
That was Margie Quinn talking in the days after Summer disappeared. Quinn had headed up the TBI's Amber Alert program and says time matters. We saw the massive search effort firsthand as Sky 5 flew over crews on the ground. Nothing was ever found, and to date, more than 6,000 tips have been called into the TBI, and they have produced no new leads. Most agree it's unlikely Summer just wandered away and was more likely the victim of foul play.
Neighbors are going to be interviewed. Sex offenders in the area are going to be interviewed. Anybody with a likelihood to have committed this kind of crime.
Authorities have done the same in the Sebastian Rogers case. The 15-year-old vanished more than 4 months ago from his Hendersonville home. In that case, too, investigators think it's unlikely the teen with autism just wandered away on his own with little or no scent detected by canines. Any evidence of foul play?
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
Yet, anyway, though those close to the case say that now is the most likely scenario. But there is simply no evidence of anything in either case. Now, I do know that authorities right now are looking into 2 new leads in Sebastian's case, including another possible sighting in East Tennessee. But to date, nothing has led to any substantial new leads. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
If you are interested in our future coverage of this story, be sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell before you go. Verdict Vantage thanks you for supporting our continued news coverage and research.
Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for more breaking stories, and remember, email verdictvantage@gmail.com.